YouTube. Here we go. I do have the armrest storage box with the USB hub from ELECFRESH. Been looking forward to this as a not only a replacement here, but also having some kind of a storage hub. And I'll kind of show you what I have right now already, and we'll see how this will make it, hopefully make a difference. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this. Here's instructions, basically telling you what's included in there and how to set it up as far as where to plug it in. And there is a rear storage, a rear USB hub that's also coming in, which I'll show when I do get it in. But here we go. This is pretty much it. Looks like there is the USB hub there. Looks like micro USB. Two micro USBs and two regular USBs. I believe this one here is a fast charging. I can't remember the. I mean, what watts it is, but it is fast charging here. All right, so this is supposed to go up like this, and I believe it's supposed to be magnetic. You can kind of see these two areas that are kind of right there. They're supposed to be. And it's supposed to be magnetic as far as when they close, but I think this is in the way. Let's move this out of the way. Right. I'm not big on these colors. Sometimes ELECFRESH has these colors. They have this on their underscreen console. Kind of think that it should be dark. And I'm not really big on these colors, but otherwise, it looks pretty good, and I think so. This here is a light. This button is for a light, which is down here. And I'll kind of show how this installs. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to install this. I want to show you what I already have now, and I'll link up the name of this model, which I really liked. This model has kind of worked great. It has this little area here where the wires do come out of. I just had to change it just because I had my daughter in here. But so for the most part, what I've had here, I've liked. It's worked otherwise well. When this pops up, like I said again, it has that little area for your cords, and then it has this other larger bin here, which and then you get the under storage here. And thus far I've used this kind of USB here, but the problem is that it has to plug into the cigarette-like adapter, which I have this little extension that plugs into there. So I'm going to be getting rid of this to use this USB hub, and we'll see how that works. What I did do here is I unplugged this, but what I used, if you wanted to go with something like this, is I use a cigarette adapter to USB-C, which is what goes in there. So let's see how this works. So the bad news is that this center console that I'm currently using, which I do like, it's by Foronetry, and I'll put that in the description, because it has two layers. It has this initial one that goes on top, and it has that opening there, and because you can see there, the opening down below comes through the bottom compartment, and this essentially lays on top here. But it is difficult to remove. When I want to remove this and get to the bottom part, it is pretty difficult. It's not difficult, but you just kind of have to use. If you have a lot of stuff in here, you kind of have to work a bit of some angles to really remove it. And this is the bottom component here, the middle component, which is nice. It just gives you that separation from the bottom, from the storage down below where the USBs are. It kind of hides that, which is really nice. But the unfortunate part is with the ELECFRESH's new system. I was hoping it could go on top, but it just doesn't fit. It doesn't go in. So, and this won't close. So I'm going to have to remove and try this out. Remove this completely and try this out here. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. This USB is going to install down below there, where the Cybertruck's USB is, and it'll just sit pretty much like this. So the good news is, even though I won't have the center storage, it's still hidden, and I can still access it by moving this up. But if I have a few things here, let's see what else I can put. Some change, pocket knife, whatever it is. And then if I have to remove this, I mean, things will kind of fall out. So if you have loose coins or whatever, things will just fall out. So you kind of have to use your hand while you're holding it. Maybe use your right hand as you hold it and your left hand to lift it up, and then you can get to the storage compartment down below. So that was really here's a comparison of what we have. We have the two USBs, then micro USB slots here, and the light. And you can kind of see how this light works. It's actually not bad. It does give you a little bit more light there. This looks like there's two different levels of the light, which is nice. But I wanted just to kind of compare to what I had previously here. A bit of a workaround to get this plugged in. You did have to have a component, but this has a older iPhone charging cable for those people that are still stuck with the iPhone charging issue, and it has two micro USBs and one regular USB. So this does offer a bit more and more choice over something like this. So I do like this this setup a bit better than using this clunky thing. Okay, so I plugged this in, confirmed that it works. I'll also confirm the fast charging. So I've went ahead and set this up. And so far, I think it's fine for what I have here. Now, again, when I bring this up, my idea is I'm going to be holding this while I bring that up. And for the most part, it works okay. I mean, things are moving, but it just depends what you put on here, guys. You know, you know, but I think you're going to have to, I think if you just, things will move if you don't hold them. You got to hold it, which is, I think this is really cool that you can open it like this. But again, depending on what you have here, you're just going to have to be careful what you put here. If you got loose change and loose items, they're all going to fall out. But if you kind of can be a little bit strategic about it, like for example, I'm putting in my coins all in a Ziploc bag, and just kind of putting things like in a tight fit there, I think this actually will work great. And you lose some space here, like you do with this model. You kind of utilize the entire part of the storage. So you do lose some storage space here. But then again, you get a more of a cleaner system here. You know, without any wires coming out from the bottom. Then you can easily plug and unplug here when needed, and instead of having to open everything back up again and going back in here and retract these and add onto here and use this clunky way here. So this just adds that level of convenience that you can just kind of unplug and plug. Now you're still going to have some wires sticking out. The good news is, can you put the wires back in if you don't need them? And the answer is yes, and nothing will show. If you ever need it, you can just kind of pull it out. Again, you can do the same thing with the other models as well. You can push the wires in, but so that's not really a big difference there, but it's just the convenience of having it here. Bringing it from in here. Again, this one I believe is supposed to be a fast charging, and these other ones I think just charge at a normal weight. Okay, so thus far I tried plugging these in. I have a USB. So far it's not saying fast charge on my phone, so I'm not sure if it's just the cable that I'm using. But it's not showing fast charge. But when it does charge, you can kind of see that it starts lighting up in blue there. So you can kind of tell that that is in use and charging. It's a good way for us to know that it's working, and that we're, other than looking at your phone, obviously, but just to see if it's just your phone or if this thing is getting power. It's nice that this actually shows that there's power going to it and it's trying to charge. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll play around with some other cords, but so far I'm not seeing that it's saying fast charge yet. It seems to be similar. This is just what I kind of heard in other YouTube videos. I do have to try to confirm this. So another nice feature of this, when you do press the light, you kind of can see the USB lighting up. I'll kind of have to see how this looks like at night, but there's two stages. You can see the different stages of what this light is here, and that it translates to the same thing down below, which I showed earlier as far as the light that shines below, but you can kind of see what stage you're in there, and if you accidentally press this, you'll know that it's on. One of the cool things I also found here is that before with my other system, when I wanted to remove the whole thing, I would have to take the whole thing out here and kind of mess with the wires there that kind of came through, as I showed you earlier. But what's cool about this, if you wanted to get inside, you don't really mess with any of these wires. You kind of just, you just have to move this part up here, and you don't have to worry about removing obviously the whole unit, and don't really have to mess with these wires, which is kind of a cool part of having a system like this. And okay, so now onto the rear unit. This is the USB hub for the rear compartment. So let's unbox this. So not really much to it. I think it's just looks like just an applicator here, and the instructions here. Just pretty straightforward. So it looks like we're going to be using this unit to plug into the two existing USB-C ports on the back there. And I think there's a bit of a sticky area there that can also helps it adhere. I'll show here. So there's a couple of stickies here that you can peel off that kind of helps it adhere. And there's the light right here that turns it on, similar to the unit up top, and it's just basically going to stick on like that. The two areas are going to be plugged into USB, and then now you have all these ports to use. Okay, let's get on to it. So this is what I currently have back here. I'm using this part here, which I probably need to move. It's for that, let's see, I'll show you there. It's for this Joa charger. I can probably move that up front. But, oops, sorry. Okay. But, we're going to be unplugging these two to add this on. And as you can see, it's a little bit difficult getting on here. When my kids are back here, they're sitting up here, and they're like, I don't see where you plug this in. It's kind of, down below. Now, there could be some good use for having this because, in our Model X, we had the system up here, and then kids would just hit it and break it, and might be good to have your plugs down here, but it is difficult for them to get to, and I think it'll be cleaner to have it over here, as is this unit. So this unit is essentially gonna basically park itself right over here, and we can just easily plug it in there. I think it's gonna look pretty clean there. So what's asking to do first is use this applicator to clean the back of this unit here, as it shows here. So use applicator to clean that area. Afterwards, we'll peel the little stickies off, and then simply just attach it and plug the wires in, and we'll be good to go. So I did put it in here. I haven't removed the tape yet, but I just kind of see if you just wanted to put it in without the tape. It's it's a little bit loose here. It should be fine, but it's a little bit loose here. But I think I'm gonna remove the tape and put it back in. I'm just gonna be cleaning this area here with this applicator that they have. Next step is removing these here. Okay. Applicator removed. Now I'm just going to go ahead and install this unit here. Make sure it's in the middle there. Okay. Okay. So that's good. How it's going to go. So now that I have this attached, I just have to attach these. Okay. So that looks pretty decent here. I can't really tell from here Let me turn off this light, but so removing this here, I can't really tell that there are these wires sticking out from just looking at it through here. Okay, so now it's plugged in. You can see that the regular USBs are lit. There's a light that comes on, which is nice up here. All right, so from here on in, I'm just going to be plugging. So I have this one, the USB-C here. Okay. So now the question is does this sit a little bit close to the passengers? So my kids move their bags and everything, like, so I can see how this could they can kind of knock this to out of the way or kind of break it by moving this. They're moving the leg. That is definitely a possibility. If I sit in the middle here, it should be okay. But again, when you have kids that are going to be putting their backpacks in here and moving things along, you just have to be careful with that because they can kind of move this along and correct that, like how we did in our Model X. I suspect that's probably why they move things closer down below so that things don't break off. But I think this is a good thing to have, in my opinion. Just it's going to be much easier for my kids to, or whoever's sitting back here, to be able to plug in the units, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty OEM. So again, these are great products from ELECFRESH. They could just continue to make really nice products. So I'm really happy with this, and also the front unit. And I think I'll be keeping them. If there's any issues I'll have, I'll probably make one video with all the accessories that I've kept, and kind of see how this lasts. But so far, so good. I'm really happy with both the units.